On to the Build-a-Thon. So this year's Build-a-Thon has been a blast already, and we're excited to present the final challenge because just like last year, the Build-a-Thon is already underway. We invited all of our Premier Integrators to apply for a chance to compete. And so, at the live event, we can only have two people compete, two teams. Lots of people want to be one of those two teams. And so we've devised a challenge project that's 11 separate challenges. And this year it was set in a mystical world called the Lands of Ignition. You can see a map of it here. And essentially, all these Premier Integrators came together and since only two could compete on the day at the in-person competition, showcased at the live Build-a-Thon on Thursday, September 8th, the last day of ICC this year, we wanted all these competitors to come together and try to go through these challenges, and the two fastest teams would get to come and compete. And we have those two teams with us here today. They were introduced at the beginning. In a second, we're going to have them talk a little bit about their experience. But a little bit about the Build-a-Thon. The Build-a-Thon started as an opportunity for us to show off new technologies. And so when Perspective came out, we used the Build-a-Thon to showcase that. And we continue to use it to showcase new and exciting things. And last year, we were able to introduce a hardware element into the Build-a-Thon with this water panel that was built by Opto22, who is also a diamond sponsor of the conference this year. And we'd like to shout out Opto22 for also building a new panel for this year's final competition. We're not going to give you any details about it. You're going to have to watch the competition to see, but I think they've really outdone themselves this year. This map of the Lands of Ignition was created by our very own Carl Gould, our CTO. The different lands represent different parts of ignition. So you can see here like the Perspective Peninsula, the testing tower, the platform plateau, and so on. Through the challenges were all tackling different parts of the Lands of Ignition, and people got to progress through and show their experience in a wide range of topics. And so we have those two teams, like we alluded to earlier. Barry-Wehmiller Design Group and Corso Systems were the first to complete the challenges and will be presenting live at ICC. And today we've brought in Keith from Barry-Wehmiller Design Group and Adrienne from Corso Systems to tell us all about it. And so I've got a couple questions for Keith and Adrienne. Adrienne, we'll start with you. How challenging has the Build-a-Thon been so far? What do you think of those challenges?
Well, it's always interesting because Corso Systems is fully remote. So part of our challenge was not only the challenge, but coming together and getting the right answers fast enough, not to just compete with the other teams, but to get them into the challenge fast enough to still be competitive. And some of those other teams may have been in the same room with each other. So every step along the way, we had to make sure to be extra quick and extra good with our communications. We really loved that map though. And even though it was all kind of a blur during the competition, afterwards we enjoyed looking at it and seeing all the details. It's obvious a lot of thought and care was put into the challenge as well as the map. The questions had a really thoughtful range. It was interesting how much of it touched on all the different things you need to know about ignition. And it felt like everyone in our team could contribute, even if they were a newer employee or if they'd been with us since the very beginning. So I think a lot of us really enjoyed the fact that we could fully participate and that we needed to fully participate and communicate on such a deep level, and that it paid off.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Adrienne. Keith, how was your experience?
Yeah, it was really exciting. It was cool because it was really challenging in that it had a really wide span of its content covered. My background is not in control systems integration, so when it's talking about writing to every different kind of driver, it really allows our entire team to kind of bring their expertise to the table, right, and let everybody kind of have an opportunity to answer pretty much every question, which was really exciting. We also were challenged with being remote across the country. And I think at the same day, our office AC had broken. So we were remote even in the same cities. So, navigating through that, making sure everybody had access, could support, but still only having one person kind of be that, navigator through the application was just an interesting, cool challenge. That's one of the best parts about the Build-a-Thon really is the upfront challenge and getting to bring everybody to try and work on it and do stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Apparently, remote work is the way to go. Our two top finishers were both remote. So everybody out there, let your employees work remote. No, but Christine, I'm going to have you jump back to the map one more time. You know, Keith, as you were talking about the different drivers and stuff, one thing I wanted to highlight on here is what was cool is this map was drawn, you know, maybe a year ago, and as we, you know, wanted to incorporate in this, we kept realizing that our software is growing quickly and we keep adding new things. And so you can see Protocol Bay that has all the drivers there kind of in the top right. And we had to add the IEC 61850 driver. You can see it's already out of date. It doesn't have the Mitsubishi driver there that we've released recently. You know, we also had Cloud Edition get added. We had to come and update something here. And, you know, it's just fun to be working on an application that keeps growing so quickly. We can't even build an accurate map for it. But you know, moving on now from this exchange challenge that we, or not exchange challenge, the Build-a-Thon challenge that we did, and now looking forward to the final challenge, the live event at ICC. Adrienne, how is Corso Systems preparing for that?
Well, we've already started preparing. We've been looking at all the different aspects we might want to bring with us, and we are taking it extremely seriously. We're brushing up, especially on things in Ignition that we might not have recently used in any customer projects, or that we are looking forward to using in customer projects. But I have to tell you, I am truly honored to be included with the group that we're bringing. We are bringing a real dream team with a diverse set of skills and experiences, and I can't wait to see what we can do. It's going to give us an edge, and we've already been circling up and cataloging exactly what each of us can bring in terms of our specializations, special interests, hidden talents. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome. And Keith, over to you. How are you guys preparing?
Yeah, well, I can't, give away every secret, but, I'll say we're brushing up on, everything that maybe we don't use as frequently, while also trying to maximize, capabilities of, design and leveraging, unique aspects of the platform and perspective that we don't, normally have to interact with every day. As well as making a solid playlist from the Department of Funk to really just, get us going and thinking about competitive SCADA constantly. You got to be in the gym, listening to that music, just building up for the Build-a-Thon, right? So we can come in and we can just, elevate the competition a little bit.
There you go. I will accept the brown nosing. But yes, that all sounds amazing. Well, Adrienne, Keith, one last question for each of you. You know, at the end of the day, there can only be one champion. So, Adrienne, what's your final word for Keith and Barry-Wehmiller Design Group?
Well, as everyone can probably tell, we are a much smaller company, and we're small but we're mighty. Don't underestimate us. As the Peter Tosh song and Neuromancer reference to Step in Razor goes, don't you watch our size? We're dangerous.
I love it. Awesome. Keith, any rebuttal?
Yeah, I guess I'd say, we're a little bit of a larger company, and we're going to make sure we bring the full weight of Barry-Wehmiller as into this challenge. We've pulled together some of the strongest minds we have from across the country, and made the best competitor win.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. We're really excited for the Build-a-Thon live at ICC this year. For those of you at home watching, we wanted to let you know that not only our finalists get to experience those Build-a-Thon challenges that got them to where they are today, next month we'll be releasing all 11 rounds to the community so that everybody can test their skills. If you get stumped while taking those challenges, don't worry, we'll also be releasing an answer key on September 15th to help you work through each challenge.